Okay, students, so next is composite functions identity. So in inverse function you have already studied, right? When there is a function from set A to B, suppose f is a function, then its inverse will be given by f inverse like this, right? And how we used to find out this one? Remember, g we used to find out if f is given by, suppose, x square or something like that. Okay, function of x, this is your y also, you can say anyway. Then its inverse, how we used to find out? Just x, keep it alone, that will be square root of y. So this was your function of y, you can see function of y. So this is inverse of f whenever f is bijective 1 1 and on 2, then its inverse will be this one. So whenever it is inverse function, we denote this g as f inverse like this, remember. And how we used to find out whether it inverse exists or not? If two ways I have already explained you. One is, if f is bijective, then this will be inverse, or we used to find out inverse first, and then what used to do? Composition of f and g we used to find out, remember. F of g of x of y used to find out identity. If it gives you in whatever input you are taking, if it gives you output also same, then this is identity. And g of f also we used to find out identity, right? Okay, so whenever this our identity composition function give you identity, then we used to say that g is inverse of f. Now if g inverse function of f, g is obviously inverse, but it will be inverse function again here. Okay, so if it is inverse function, what we used to denote? This g we used to write it as f of f inverse. In place of g, can I write f inverse now? Y is equal to y. And this one, what I can write? In place of g, f inverse of fx is equal to x. Okay, so this is how we used to write down, right? Same way with your inverse trigonometric function. Now see here, in this case f was a function, normal function, and f inverse was his inverse of this function, right? Now see here, your normal trigonometry, suppose, is sine x, then its inverse will be what? Y equal to sine x, suppose. Then its inverse will be x equal to sine inverse y, remember. And this fy is what? Fx only, right? Remember, function of x, right? And y I can write function of x. And this is what? Can I write? Function of y. Now what I can write? G, suppose. Now this is what? Inverse of this one. So can I write f inverse? Because we are going to talk about only inverse function. I have already explained, right? Why this is inverse function? Because the range which you are taking is limited. That is pi by 2 to, not pi by 2. This is value, right? Y will be value minus 1 to 1 it will be. And here x will be how much? X will be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, those limited value if you take, this will be inverse function of this. So if it is inverse function, what will be the composition of this? Like for f of f inverse, we will give you y, right? Same way sine, this is your function, right? Here in place of f, this is the one f sine, and in place of f inverse, it is sine inverse here. So try to understand. When it was fx equal to, suppose, let me write down x square, what is your f inverse? F inverse y we used to write down root over y, right? Same way here, this fx means here sine x, here f inverse means sine inverse, right? So when it is f, this is f inverse, what you used to write? F of f inverse y, f inverse domain will be y, is equal to y. Same way here also, f of f inverse means sine of sine inverse. Here function is sine inverse, right here. So composition of sine of, you can write off like this, but I will ignore this now. Okay, for the time being, to explain you, I have written off sine inverse. What I will write? Y is equal to what it will give? Y it will give. It's like f of f inverse. Okay, so in place of trigonometry function, this, see, when you solve it, how you used to write out? F of f inverse x, suppose, y, how you used to write down? F bracket f inverse y. This is how we used to write down, right? This is just a notation. Okay, to solve we used to write like this. So same way here also, sine inverse y will give you y. This will always give you y, because now you can, to remember, you can easily think like this: sine and sine inverse get cancelled. You can think in this way, but it is not getting cancelled. Remember that, student. Okay, so just for remembering, you can think in that way. Okay, sine inverse get cancelled, and what you got? Y. So remembering is very easy. So this is your identity here: composite function identity in trigonometric function. Okay, sine inverse will get cancelled, you can think, and whatever is your value, that will come out. Or if you take sine inverse sine y, sine x, if you take like this also, then x will come out, because you can see this is inverse of this, this is inverse of this, or this is inverse of this one, you can see. And composition of inverse function and normal function, we know it is always identity, means whatever input you will take, output will be same. So this is your identity which you need to remember. So I have just written here, you can see sine of sine inverse y is always give you y. Okay, sine inverse sine x, you can see sine inverse, you can think that it is cancelled and x you get back. Okay, but it is not cancelled. Again I repeat, I have already explained. If you have understood inverse function very well, then you can easily understand this one. This is same thing like inverse function only. You can see this is normal function and it is inverse function. So when I do a composition of these two, we get identity. Here also same, f inverse of f, means by changing the order, it does not matter, it will give you the identity element. And one important thing student used to miss out, see here carefully, this one, what it will be, student? Obviously it will be the ratio, trigonometric ratio, y value, this will be. Okay, and this x is what? This is your angle, radian angle. Okay, so whenever inverse is there, remember with inverse value will come up. Let me tell this one as value. Okay, remember, in case of your trigonometric table, how we used to write down? 0 degree, some value used to be there for 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. You used to have ratio here, right? Those ratio I'm calling us here value. Okay, so those will be your y. This trigonometric ratio will be your value here. Okay, and what will be your x? X will be, can you see, sine of x, what we used to write? Sine of angle we used to write always, right? So this will be your angle and this will be your value, remember. Okay, so let's move to next topic, that is next formula, that is inverse trigonometric function identities for negative inputs. Now what does that mean? So as I said, like for example in class 11 you have studied, see what it is, inverse trigonometry function identities for what? For negative inputs. Remember negative input, sine of minus x, this is your input, right? You will put value here, then you used to find out the value of this function, right? Sine of minus x, this is your input, right? Remember negative input. So this was what was the solution for this? Remember we have proved also this one in class 11, sine minus sine of x, right? Then you had cos of minus x is cos x. Same with sec of minus x is sec x. They used to eat up minus, I used to tell you like that, right? Remember? So cosec of minus x will give you minus cosec x. Tan of minus x will give you minus tan x. All used to give out its minus except cos and sec. Remember, cot of minus x will give you minus cot x. So this was for normal trigonometry. What about now inverse trigonometry? Means sine inverse of minus x, what it will return? Will it return sine inverse x with minus here or without minus here? Means I want to find out this negative input in terms of positive input, because I told you, right, to solve negative input we don't have any rule. What we have is we used to convert this negative input into positive input and then we used to solve. Okay, so see here how we will derive this one. So sine of negative input, sine inverse of negative input will give you what? In terms of positive input. So I want to find out this one in terms of sine inverse positive x. Whether minus will come out, this minus will come out, or will just vanish. We will try to find out this one. So derivation you try to see carefully here, because the question which we are going to solve, this is the way. The derivation which I will show you, exactly same way we will solve questions also. Okay, so see carefully. So see here, our aim is to find out now sine inverse negative input in terms of positive input. Means I want to find this one in terms of sine inverse positive x. Now see here, to solve that means to make this x alone. Not alone I will say, means I want to remove this minus. To remove this minus, now see here, you have to bring this one this side first, then negative also. I'm saying that this you have to bring this side, it's not bringing this side. I have already told you about inverse, how to write down. Remember, y is equal to, if it is sine x, then its inverse will be what? X equal to sine inverse y. This notation I have already teach you. Okay, so I can convert into positive this one. So what I can do, I mean, normal function, this sine inverse I can bring this side. What it will become? This one only, right? Can I think in that way? I can think in that way also, right? So I can bring this one this side. So when I bring this one this side, it will become sine of y equal to minus x. Now see why I have brought that one, because see, what I want to do is I want to find out sine inverse positive x. To make this one positive, obviously you have to take out this negative sign, right? And to take out this negative sign, in inverse we don't have any rules, right? So whatever inverse function we are going to solve, we will solve with the help of normal trigonometric function only. So what we are going to do is we will convert this one always, whatever problem you will solve, always we will convert into normal trigonometric form, and then we will solve and will bring back again into inverse. Okay, why I told you again, inverse we don't have any rule. To find out the rule for this one, we are going to follow the normal trigonometric function. Okay, first we will convert all the problems. If you don't have any rule for inverse function, then always make it into normal function, then again try to convert at the end into inverse function. So what I want to say from here is, see carefully. So first my aim is to make this one positive, right? To make this positive, what I have to do, this I have to remove, right? Inverse I have to remove from here. I have to make this one alone. To make this alone, what I can do, can I bring sine inverse this one this side? So it will become sine y. I'm not, again I repeat, I'm not bringing this one. Remember, this is the notation. Y is equal to sine x, then x will be what? Its inverse. I can write sine inverse y. So this, from this to this, can I get or not? Again I can say x is equal to sine inverse y. To get y, what I have to do, I have to find inverse again. So y is equal to how much? Inverse of this. Inverse of this is sine x. Okay, so I have written like this. So now see here, this becomes alone. Now negative sign, can I bring this side? Minus both side I will multiply with -1. If I do that, what I will get? Minus sine y equal to x. Now first thing, x become positive. Now if I bring sine that side, again it will become, but the problem is when you bring trigonometric function this side, okay, sine or tan or whatever, it must be alone. Like for example, if you have like this, 2 sine x is equal to, as I say, this we are actually not bringing. Okay, this is just our notation. For for us to make it easy to understand is, we used to think that let's bring this side, it's like that. But see here, again I repeat, you cannot bring, suppose 2 sine x is equal to say 30. Okay, now in this case I cannot write like this, 2x equal to sine inverse 30. I cannot write like this. What I can write here is, see, whenever you bring, we used to think sine inverse you will write here. Whenever you used to think like that, remember this trigonometric function must be alone, then only you can bring this side. Means 2 first you have to bring that side, that is 30 by 2 will be 15. Let me write down 15 here. Then since it is alone, then you can bring sine that side. Means you can think in this way, sine inverse 15. Okay, as I said like this, y is equal to sine x, then x will be what? Sine inverse y. Sine inverse y, you can write in that way. Okay, Because why I said it should be alone, because this is not something you bring this side. Okay, this is something we are going to write inverse. Means if I take any input here, whatever I will take here, y value, what you will get? You will get some values here, right? Like for example, if I take 30 degree, then also I'll get some value here. That will give you a x equal to something value. Now the moment I will take that, whatever value you get, that if you take here, you must get whatever you have taken y here. Is this clear? So that was the meaning with the help of which we have find out this notation in our previous video, right? So see here, what I will do first. First I have to remove this negative. Now don't bring again back here, because our purpose is to make this one positive. Now if you bring this one this side and again this one, then there will be no solution which you want to find out. Okay, there will be no solution like that. Means positive x we won't get. So I have already make positive. Now I have to think how you will remove this negative sign from here and make sign alone here, so that sign you can bring back again, it will become sine inverse. So what you can do, this negative sign, now see here, minus sine x, can I write this one sine of minus x? We have this rule, right? Minus sine x, I can write sine of minus x, this rule, remember? So this I can make it vanish here. How? By introducing this minus inside. I can write down. Why I can write down? Now you can see this and this are equivalents. Again, if you solve this one, what you will get? My sine of minus y, it will give you minus sine y back. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now you bring sine inverse this side, sine a this side, what it will become? Minus y is equal to sine inverse x. I hope it's clear. Now you can see sine inverse x, positive value I got it. What I have to get? Sine inverse minus x equal to, in terms of sine inverse positive x. That is, you can see minus, if I bring again back here, what you will get? Minus sine inverse x. I know it looks very weird right now for you. Since again I repeat, since you are doing for the first time, at first you might face problem, okay, but when you keep on doing this kind of problem again and again, you will be habituated with that and you will understand properly that one. Okay, so you can see now what I have find out. Y is what? This one only, right? In place of y, can I write sine inverse minus x is equal to this one, can I write minus sine inverse x. So you can see this rule is like the normal one. Sine of minus x, it gives you minus sine x, right? Same way in inverse trigonometric also. Sine inverse minus x will give you minus sine inverse, means it will give out its minus. So same way, if you try to find out for tan inverse and cosec inverse minus x, same, exactly same way you follow, you will see that it will give you minus tan inverse x and it will give you minus cosec inverse x. Means sine, tan inverse and cosec inverse, these three used to give out its minus. Okay, in your previous normal case, what it was? Except cos and sec, every trigonometric function used to give out its minus except cos and sec. But in this case, only sine inverse, tan inverse and cosec. Even cot does not give out minus, simply minus here. Okay, so in this case, three trigonometric function will give you inverse trigonometric function will give you negative sign outside. Okay, now other three, what will happen? You can see the other three. For example, I will take now sec inverse minus of x, or let me take cos will be much more easier to explain, because most of you know formula of cos, right? Cos minus x will be how much in terms of cos inverse x? Will it give minus, simply minus outside, or it will eat away, or it will give something else? So we will find out this one. Okay, so again same thing, see, minus, I want to make positive x first. Okay, so same rule here also. First we will take y is equal to cos inverse, I have just named this one also, this one. Okay, cos inverse minus of x. So what I will do, again same thing, cos inverse, can I write this one as cos of y is equal to minus x. Now let me make positive first, minus cos of y is equal to x. So I have already made this one positive. Now the only thing you have to do is this minus, try to remove it from here so that cos some angle will come out. Okay, then cos I will bring back here, and again whatever gives you here, from there you try to make y alone. Okay, so see here, the question is, in this case the problem is, see here, last time what we have done, it was minus sin x you got, so you return this one as, to remove this minus, what you have done, you have written this one inside. We can write down, because sine of minus x, it gives you minus sin x. Now you can't do that one here. Some student I know, they will think that I will write cos of minus y. Now remember, cos of minus y, what it will give? Cos of minus y will give you cos y only. It will not give you minus cos y. So this and this won't be equivalence. So no use of writing cos of minus y here. It will not give you minus cos y. You have to write here something in terms of cos only, such that after solving that you will get minus cos y. Now see here, I hope you remember this. ASTC, remember? All sine cosec here, tan cot here, cosec here. Remember, all trigonometric function used to be positive here. In this case only sine and cosec. In this case tan and cot. In this case cos and sec. I hope you remember till now this one. All student, after school to college. This is how I have explained you to remember this, right? After school to college. Anyway, this is for all function. This is for sine and cos sec only. Tan and cot. This is for cos sec. Okay, so cos and sec will be positive here. In rest, it will be negative. Here, everything will be positive. Right? Now, you will need your class 11 concept here. See here. I want to write this one in terms of cos first thing. And I want to write here something such that it will return back minus cos y. Now this cos of which angle will return you minus? So see, cos is negative in which cases? Second quadrant and third quadrant. Because in first quadrant and second quadrant, whatever angle you take it, it will always give you positive cos. Okay, but I need negative of cos angle, right? So negative cos will be negative only in this quadrant and this quadrant. And remember which angle we used to take, the one which is nearer, right? So which one we will take? Obviously this one, because this angle will be much more easier to solve rather than this one. Okay, which one is much more easier to solve? 180 or 270 will be easier, more than 180. Obviously this one will be much more easier, right? So anyway, we will take this. Now see here, to get this angle, two ways are there. This I have already teach you in class 11, right? Either from pi by 2 plus this one, or pi minus this something. So if you take cos of pi minus something, then also this angle you will get. If you take cos of pi by 2 plus something, then also you will get this angle. Now the question is which one you will take. Obviously we will take pi minus something, that is pi minus y here. Why I will take pi minus y? Pi, if you take, what will happen? This is even multiple of pi. What I can write? 2 into, some of you might have forget all this. That's why I'm again repeating this one. Pi means 2 into pi by 2. Remember, this is even multiple of pi by 2. Even multiple of pi by 2 means what? It will return back the same trigonometric function. So in this case, what will happen? So see here, cos of pi minus y will give you what? Cos of pi minus y means this angle. Cos of whatever angle here in this second quadrant, it will always give you negative. And since even multiple, it will give you cos. So this was, remember, this was the smallest angle we used to take from the trigonometry. Either 0 or 30 or 45 or 60 or 90 we used to take. We used to make like that, remember? So it will give out its y back. Okay, cos of y. So those who don't remember this one, I will suggest you this, you try to recall back. Okay, and if you have doubt on this one, tell me, I will again repeat back this one. Okay, ASTC. I know some student might have forget all this. So this one, can I write cos of pi minus y now? I can write down, because minus, if you solve this one, you will get back minus cos y here. Okay, so I'm not violating any rule here. So done. So first thing what I want to say is, when you solve this one, what was our aim? Our aim was to make this one positive. Okay, because I want to make relation between cos inverse negative input with positive. I want to make this positive, because I told you, right, we know how to deal with positive angle, not negative. So negative we always used to convert into positive, and then we used to solve it. Okay, so in this case, see here, cos, if I bring here, what you will get? Pi minus y equal to cos inverse x. Okay, so I already got, say, cos inverse positive value. The only thing is now I have to find out y. So what I can do, let's make this one positive. Y, bring this side, and this you bring this side. What you will get? Cos inverse x equal to y. So you can see y is what? This one only, right? So in place of y, can I write cos inverse minus of x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. So you can see cos inverse minus negative input. This time something different came out, like in, not like in normal trigonometry function. You can see cos inverse minus x will give you pi minus cos inverse x, cos inverse positive input. So this time pi minus extra came out, not only with sine. Okay, along with sine, pi also came this time, pi minus cos inverse x. So this also have family. You can see sec inverse x minus x also will give you pi minus sec inverse x, and your last cot also will give you same, cot inverse minus x will give you pi minus cot inverse x. Okay, so these are the one which I have written. So you can see I have written this one in red pen, so that you can understand these are one family, this is one family. Sine inverse minus x, tan inverse minus x, cosec inverse minus x will always give you minus of that positive input, inverse of that positive inverse. Okay, and in this case, in blue cases, you can see cos, sec and cot is considered to be one family. Why I have written like this? So that you can remember these formulas easily. Okay, derivation I have already shown you. Cos inverse minus x will give you pi minus cos inverse x. Sec inverse minus x, pi minus sec inverse. Proof is exactly same, this two exactly same. Okay, so this I will send you the pictures and all. You note it down, this one in your notebook. Okay.